Whenever I was 11 years old, my Nana used to keep this flower pot on her kitchen table as a decoration, and in the flower pot she had an assortment of grasses and some flowers, and straight in the center was a lotus pod. And for those of you who don't know what a lotus pod is, I'm going to show you in just a second. But it's this little flower type thing. It's round and it has a lot of little holes in the center, and it has like little seeds in it. It looks really gross, and I noticed that whenever I would look at it, like it'd make my skin crawl, and I didn't know why. And y'all probably think I'm crazy. But then one day I was eating a peach, and whenever I looked down at the seed, I noticed that it had similar little patterns in it, and again it was making my skin crawl, and I felt really gross. And so I was like, why do I keep having this type of reaction to this? And because I thought it was crazy. And so I went to Google and I looked up the fear of holes, and I didn't think anything would actually show up, but it turns out it's a real condition, and it's called trypophobia. Trypophobia is the fear or disgust of small holes or unusual patterns. The term was coined by a woman on Reddit actually in 2005, and she came up with the term trypophobia by putting together the Greek roots trypo, which means holes, and phobos, which means fear or phobia. Do these pictures bother any of you? Because they really bother me. And that's the lotus pod, by the way. And other things that may trigger you could be a honeycomb, enlarged pores, and sea anemone. And there are also these frogs that hatch their little tadpoles off their back, and it looks, and it has all these little holes in it too, and it makes me feel really gross. The symptoms of trypophobia are nausea, a feeling of panic and anxiety, and it makes your heart beat really fast. And it's not so much that you're afraid of it, it's more like you're just disgusted by it, and that's why it's actually not recognized by psychologists as a real phobia. So it's just a proposed phobia, I guess you'd say. And the treatment for trypophobia is exposure therapy. Exposure therapy is when you're afraid of something, and so they expose you to it in hopes that you won't be afraid of it anymore. Kind of like if you're afraid of spiders, they tell you that you should just look at spiders and maybe you won't be scared of them anymore. And I guess that'd be true unless the spider looks something like this. And so other proposed methods of treatment could be deep breathing exercises that nobody's probably going to do, and anxiety medications if it's that extreme. And in conclusion, I made my Nana get rid of that flower pot on the table, and I do not eat peaches anymore. And it's nice to know that trypophobia, even though it makes you feel really uneasy, it's actually really just a harmless condition.